on Amazon. And find daily inspiration at thehappychannel.com. Start living your most radiant, joy-filled life today.
Are you ready to heal your mind, body, and soul? Tune into the Real Healing Institute show with Michelle Sinclair every second and fourth Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on Trent.
She's the pushy broad from the Bronx, New York. Follow her voice, a straight dog is nice. She's a pushy broad from the Bronx, oh yeah. Don't be surprised if you wanna listen twice. Make decisions, find the right choice. Know yourself better, find your own voice. It's okay if you need help today, cause everybody needs a little push. From the pushy broad from the Bronx, New York.
Welcome, Transformation Talk Network listeners. My name is Ellen Stewart, and I am the pushy broad from the Bronx. Welcome to my show in the new year, Happy New Year, Recovery Recharged, where we share advice and support from experts in addiction and recovery. And starting off this new year, I have big news. The Transformation Talk Network has launched the very new Transformation Talk Revelution, which is part of the Transformation Network. So now you can experience my show in a whole new way at ttrnetwork.com. You can watch me live, like I am right now. You can catch replays on demand, and you can subscribe for instant updates. Plus, here's a brand new feature. You can connect with me in real time. So if you're listening to me live, click on the player and hit ask to join the conversation, which means you can ask me questions and I will answer it live on the air. I have my Straight Talk episode available for you today, which means I get to coach you like only the pushy broad can, and we're going to talk about a topic that everybody talks about in the month of January, and that is dry January. We're going to talk about what it is. We're going to talk about whether or not you're participating, and we're going to talk about how it really can help your recovery moving forward. So, I will take a lot of questions that I've gotten from clients, that I've gotten from you, my listeners, that send me emails at ellen@pushybroadfromthebronx.com. And my producer, Emily, is going to let me know what's on your mind about dry January. So let's kick it off right away. Emily, what's the first question?
Okay, we have, what exactly is dry January and where did it originate?
Great question out of the gate. Dry January actually is voluntary. You make a commitment to yourself to either abstain from alcohol, which is basically what this is specifically about, but you could abstain from any mood-altering substance, or you can abstain from sugar, or you can abstain from something that is technically harmful to you, or something that you do in excess that you would like to clear your body from. Some people do it as a way to detox for the month of January. It started in the UK, the United Kingdom, back in 2013 through the nonprofit Alcohol Change UK, and since then has become a global movement. So it started as a public health initiative, but many people now use it as a personal reset to examine your relationship with alcohol and other mood-altering substances. No labels, right? Nobody's saying whether or not you have a problem. You may not even have a problem with any of those things. You just may decide that after the end of the year and all the holiday parties and all the partying, it's now time to put yourself on an abstinence program for a short period of time. Okay? So that's what dry January is. Emily, next question.
Is dry January only for people who think they drink too much?
Yeah, no, it's not only for those people. It's a way of just observing and telling yourself what's going on with your body. We want to see if alcohol or a mood altering substance is affecting us. Is it affecting your body, your mood, your sleep, your relationships, your productivity? Many participants are social or moderate drinkers that simply want to clarify your intentions around your habits. It's strictly about awareness, not specifically diagnosis. Emily, next question.
What are the most common reasons people choose to do dry January?
Well, I know that my clients want to just come off a whole month or two of holiday partying and overexerting and just doing things to excess. And now take stock, like everybody does, the first of the year with their New Year's resolutions, but not long term. The way something works efficiently is to turn around and say, I'm going to try one day at a time to do it for a short period and see if I could manage it. So that's one of the common reasons why people decide to choose dry January. And for the reasons that they are not functioning to begin with. They want to improve their health, they want to save money, they want to boost energy, they want to sleep better, they want to lose weight, and they want to start the year with discipline and focus, like most of us do. Also, somebody sometimes wants to know whether or not alcohol and mood altering substances are impacting us on a behavioral level. Are we anxious? Do we have lack of motivation? Are we having trouble regulating our emotions? These are really common reasons why people try to choose dry January. And you notice it's dry January. It's not dry 2026. It's too far in advance. Nobody can make a resolution for the entire year. We can only make resolutions for short periods at a time so that we have the best chance of sticking to them. So, Emily, next question.
From a recovery coach's perspective, what is the deeper value of dry January?
When my clients tell me that they are really involved in trying to abstain, I notice so many things about how they are reacting to their lives. So, one of the deepest values of dry January is self observation. You begin to see what you're doing and why you're doing it, which is awareness, which is the first step in the transformation process, which is the first step in changing negative or unwanted behaviors. When you remove a mood altering substance, you begin to notice emotional patterns and social habits and stress responses and what your coping mechanisms are. For many people, dry January becomes a mirror, a reflection of how alcohol was used previously to maybe relax yourself or connect or celebrate or sometimes mask or numb your pain. Were you using a mood altering substance to escape from your reality, to not focus on what was really important? Those are the things that come into focus, which is a much deeper value that a recovery coach gets to work on with you when you are free of all mood altering substances. And if that is working for you and you're already 2 weeks into it, I'm really proud of you. If you decide that after this and the session that I'm talking to you about today, you want to start, there's no time like the present. One day at a time. You can also go to pushybroadfromthebronx.com and I'll help you get started with a free consultation for the new year. Life coaching, recovery coaching, I'm here to show you what it's like to really change your life. Emily, next question.
What physical benefits do people commonly notice during dry January?
So many of my clients report, first of all, they're sleeping better, which is amazing because everybody wants to sleep better. And also, their stress levels have diminished. They have clearer skin, better digestion, more stable energy levels. They've reduced inflammations and sometimes even weight loss in big ways. Many people also notice fewer headaches, less fatigue, even in the first 1 to 2 weeks. It really does take a short time to see a tremendous improvement in your health, in your appetite, in your taste buds, in your energy and motivational levels. You will feel it physically in a very short time. It's only positive. So try 1 day at a time to think of how much better you will feel. Keep your eye on the reward. That's how we change habits. Emily, next question.
What mental or emotional benefits tend to show up?
Well, more of the same, right? We all want to be less stressed. We all want to be less anxious. And we think that a mood altering substance is going to do that for us, to calm us down and make us feel less stressed. But it doesn't work that way. Alcohol and drugs only put off what's there, and many, many times causes an imaginary paranoia to make those situations worse. Haven't you found that? Right? You're smoking a joint or you're drinking a lot, and it's only making you feel as if it is more difficult to cope or it's more stressful to cope. But when you are losing mood altering substance, the alcohol's depressive effects on the nervous system goes away. So you feel more grounded, you feel more present. And without smoking marijuana and doing anything else that you might be doing, your mental acuity returns. You're mentally sharp. You know the pushy broad is talking from experience, right? I'm 40 years clean and sober. It doesn't mean that I didn't feel what you were feeling when you were going through all of this. So I can just tell you how much better it gets. Slowly, 1 day at a time. Call the Pushy Broad, pushybroadfromthebronx.com. Go on the web, make an appointment for a free consultation. We'll have a private conversation about how you can do this 1 day at a time. Emily, next question.
What are the biggest challenges people face when attempting dry January?
Yeah, number one challenge. People are afraid. They're afraid to do things that may change them. They're afraid to interrupt patterns, even if they're not healthy patterns. That's why mindfulness, the technique of mindfulness, really works. Mindfulness means basically 1 day at a time, which is a mantra in terms of recovery, which in 12-step recovery or smart recovery or all of the other types of treatment modalities, 1 day at a time is the only way to tackle something. And one of the other biggest challenges that people face in attempting dry January is social pressure. You're afraid to go out because everybody's going to say, oh, come on, have a drink, and you'll start tomorrow, and what's the big deal, and all that stuff, that pressure. And we're going to talk about how to get around that down the road here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. But disrupting habit, fear of new things, fear of actual emotional or physical discomfort. And I can tell you, and I want to caution you, if you are attempting dry January and you are feeling physical discomfort, I need you to get to a doctor right away or an emergency room in the hospital. Because if you have your system so filled with alcohol or a mood altering substance that there is physical attachment, physical pain attached to going dry, then I need you to see somebody really quickly because the side effects of that withdrawal could be fatal if you don't. If you're feeling shaky, if you're feeling dizzy, if you are vomiting, if you are nauseous, if you cannot physically handle this on your own, then I need you to get help to do so. That is a very big deal. So, next question, Emily.
What advice would a recovery coach give to someone preparing for dry January?
Well, preparation is key. And if you've been doing it so far, kudos. I'm really proud of you. If you want to start now, I want you to start thinking about what your why is. Because when somebody has a why, they have a really good idea and they're strong enough to hold on to that why, which gives them the stability and the foundation to move forward in a really good way. So start writing down why it's important to you and start thinking about what could be in the way of that. What triggers could possibly be something that would sway your motivation? I want you to plan in so many ways, maybe to have a sober buddy, or maybe to start listening to the Pushy Broad a little more in the Recovery Recharge show, or pick up the phone, or go to the website, pushybroadfromthebronx.com. Make yourself a consultation so that we can talk about it, so that you are guided through this process. I also want you to tell a lot of people. I want you to tell everybody you know what your intentions are so that it helps you stick with it. Dry January works best when it's intentional rather than reactive. Okay? Emily, next question.
How can someone handle social situations without feeling awkward or deprived?
You know, today's world is so much different than when I tried to get clean and sober. You can bring your own non-alcoholic stuff, right? There are mocktails everywhere. There is terrific non-alcoholic beer. You can order confidently without explanation. Nobody is asking the way you think they are. And if they are, all you have to say, is I'm not drinking this month. That's enough. Okay, if somebody wants to know what's going on with you, you turn around and say, I'm not drinking this month, and then change the subject, move on. And if you find that there are one or two friends of yours that keep hounding you to drink, guess what? They have a problem with alcohol or a mood altering substance. Because everybody else who does not have a problem with alcohol or a mood altering substance is not going to be on your back about doing it. So I need you to be aware of that. Remember, the first step here in sobriety is awareness. That's the first step. The second step is verbalization. Talk about what you're doing out loud so that you understand you're proud of it. And believe it or not, a lot of people will maybe follow suit because if one person is doing it, you may give them the impetus to do it themselves. Okay? So give it a shot, one day at a time. Emily, next question.
What are healthy substitutes for alcohol during dry January?
Well, let's do some things that will really help a lot, like there are so many different flavors of sparkling water, and there are mocktails and herbal teas and kombucha and non-alcoholic spirits. And you can still have the ritual. I mean, I have seen people drink soda from champagne glasses or drink a nice mocktail in a very pretty cocktail glass. If you don't want to go that route, or you want to go that route in addition to other things, exercise, journaling, breath work, evening routines, going out with friends, making it a sober evening for everybody, everything that you can do to distract yourself from the craving. Let me tell you something else. The actual craving for something, the actual craving of I want to drink or I want to smoke really lasts in intensity anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. Okay? 30 to 60 seconds, which means that you have to get through that initial big craving and then it calms down and then it subsides. So when you feel that craving, I need you to face it. I need you to acknowledge it. And I need you to say, here it is. Here's the craving. I have to keep myself distracted for about 60 seconds, which is 1 minute of time. I'm going to do something else. I am going to read a book. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to go take a walk with the dog. I'm going to make myself a sandwich, whatever. And your brain will be able to minimize the craving and move into the next thing. Okay? That's how cravings work. So distract yourself for a minute, do something else until the craving subsides, and keep doing that until it passes and you can handle it. Okay? Emily, next questions.
What does dry January reveal about someone's relationship with alcohol?
Well, the biggest thing is it's going to reveal how automatic or how emotionally driven you may be by drinking. If you're thinking about it every minute, if you're emotionally upset because it's not right there, if you feel that abstaining feels unusually difficult, emotionally charged, or even anxiety provoking, that information is valuable, not shameful. Awareness, again, is the first step towards choice. If you're not aware, you don't know what you're choosing. You're only choosing what your body is craving. It doesn't mean it's healthy for you. But when you're aware, when you can take yourself out of the play and put yourself in the audience and take a look and see what you're doing from an objective point of view, from a clean and sober point of view, then you can be honest with yourself without judgment, without shame, but in an attempt to get better and self develop and grow. Okay? Emily, next question.
Can dry January be a warning sign of a bigger issue?
Yeah, it can. Absolutely. But it can be an indicator, not a diagnosis, because you're not a doctor and you're going to have to go check it if it is. If you experience intense cravings, irritability, sleep disruption, distress, it may suggest a dependence or an emotional reliance or an addiction. Then you need to call the Pushy Broad. Pushy Broad from thebronx.com. Make an appointment for a free consultation. And I will direct you towards the next step for sure. But if you have a very difficult time and you are struggling and you start the abstinence program and you're okay for a day or two and then you can't do it and then you're drinking and then you stop and then you start again a million times, it means that this has become a part of your life that you cannot let go of. And because of that, you need to address it and get some help around it. Emily, next question.
What role does self-compassion play in dry January?
Self-compassion is critical. This is not about perfection. It's not about punishing yourself. It's about being curious about who you are and learning. If you slip, as a recovery coach, my mindset is to show you how to reflect, how to reset, and continue. Not give up, not quit entirely, but to provide you with resilience and to show you your accomplishments and to work out what's going on so that you can reset and rebuild. Emily, next question.
What should someone do at the end of dry January?
Well, You know, the pushy broad from the Bronx is going to tell it like it is. And as far as I'm concerned, what somebody should do at the end of dry January is make it a dry February. However, I need you to reflect before reintroducing alcohol if that's what you want to do. I want you to ask yourself some questions. I want you to ask yourself, how do I feel physically and emotionally? Do I feel better? Is my body feeling better? Do I have more energy? Am I sleeping better? Have I decided that emotionally I'm more regulated? Am I screaming at the kids the same way I did before? Is my relationship better? Am I getting as stressed as I was before? Am I aggravated? Am I more calm? Am I more peaceful? In general, I need you to ask yourself what you got from this. What did you learn? And I want you to decide if you want to drink differently going forward, if you think you can drink differently going forward. And I need you to make a plan. And sometimes that means using a coach or using your therapist or talking to someone else and saying to yourself, I am not going to drink more than so many glasses a week. For men, no more than eight or nine pieces of alcohol, 8 or 9 drinks a week. For women, no more than 6 or 7 drinks per week. In fact, I'd like to see about half of that. But sticking to a regiment, to a function, to a schedule. Many people do choose to reduce frequency, set boundaries, or extend their abstinence because they feel so much better. So I need you to listen to yourself. I need you to think about how you feel. There are so many celebrities out there, and you know who they are. They've talked about their drinking. They've talked about doing dry January and then going further and further and further because they really did a good job. And they couldn't deny that they felt sensational. So why wouldn't you prefer that to feeling like crap every time you picked up a drink? So think about it. Emily, next question.
How can dry January positively impact the rest of the year?
Yeah, a little more of that. You get to know yourself so well. You begin to build self-trust. And completing it shows that change is possible and that your habits are flexible. You're not dialed in only to negative habits and negative ways of doing things. You can finally see some real change that actually helps for the better. And you can maybe take this and carry it forward to other healthy habits and coping strategies, maybe holding on to stronger boundaries and having a more intentional relationship with yourself and with how you feel about mood-altering substance long after January ends. Okay? All right, Emily, more questions?
How can participants track their progress or stay motivated throughout the month?
Well, one of the ways you can do that to make sure you're going in the right direction is to work with the Pushy Broad. So I want you to go to the website, pushybroadfromthebronx.com, and I want you to make an appointment for a free consultation. I want you to begin dry January, and I want you to have a great new year because I think you can do it, and I'm proud of you. So take the time, do the right thing for yourself. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time. This is Ellen Stewart, the Pushy Broad from the Bronx, saying thanks for listening. And remember, everybody needs a little push.
From the pushy broad from the Bronx, New York.